For the past 3 years, Apple TV remained unchanged from the outside. And all of a sudden, Apple improved it where it's become faster, easier to use, and much bigger, just like any other products from Apple. Which now is competing with the Fire TV that was one of the first to introduce apps voice search in the living room, and improved on it with this year's model Let's Play 4K video and other features. So how will they change and which one is better for you? The Apple TV supports 1080p video, an upgraded processor, the A8 chip dual-core, same one found on an iPad mini 2, which is much faster than its predecessor, with the addition of 2 gigs of RAM, better Wi-Fi, and can be found in 32 or 64 gigs capacity. The Fire TV supports 4K Ultra HD resolution thanks to its quad-core processor running at 2 GHz with the addition of 2 gigs of RAM, better connectivity with Wi-Fi and Ethernet, and only comes with 8 GB of capacity with the addition of the micro SD card reader. Because of the heatsink inside, Apple TV looked like 2 of its predecessors stacked together. On the back we have power, USB Type-C, HDMI and Ethernet cable. Simply designed with a matte finish on the top, glassy logo, and same on the side. The new Fire TV still looks exactly the same as its predecessor. The back has power, 4K HDMI, Ethernet connection, addition of a SD card reader and full-size USB. It's thinner and lighter than the Apple TV, have a matte finish on the top, glassy logo, and glassy on the side. Siri Remote has a trackpad for navigating the interface with the help of home and menu. The bottom is glass with Siri, play, and volume buttons. The back is aluminum, which overall feel really good. The remote for the Fire TV is good, so Amazon decided not to change it much. It's a little bit longer and lighter. Voice control is still there, navigation and playback buttons. I just wish that they added more functionality to the remote, but overall it feels good. In the design category, none of these devices have good aesthetics. They both are made to be hidden in a closet or behind the TV. Now let's take a look at the experience. With an iOS device, setting up the device was so easy. I had to connect to Bluetooth and find the Apple TV on my iPad, and voila, everything got synced. The interface looks a lot more cleaner and nicer than before. It's based on iOS 9, same operation system that the iPad and iPhone have. You get to see your movies and purchases, top movies, etc. But what makes the experience more exciting is the Apple Store. Now you can get all of your favorites or most of your favorites app right into your big TV. And seeing the universal apps that I bought from my iPad works on the Apple TV make the experience much more exciting. Speaking of iPad, tvOS has similar multitasking capabilities, where you can swipe from one app to another, go back and close it. And also I like how you can customize your interface and organize your apps by holding the app just like an iPad or iPhone and then drop it where you want it to be. Clearing the space with the app manager is a good addition, and also AirPlay mirroring worked better than ever before. If you are invested in Amazon, this is the only way you can watch movies and shows for free if you are a Prime subscriber. The addition of Siri is a good gesture from Apple, but I found out that you can do so little things like controlling or looking for some movies. I hope they add the full experience from iPad. If you're planning to game on the Apple TV, you're in a good luck. The GPU and CPU and the addition of 2 gigs of RAM allow to play high-end games with high-end quality. You can use your trackpad on your remote to control your character or your game. The experience feels similar to a console, not as much, but if you want to take it to the next level, I highly recommend using a controller. If you're into racing games, you can turn your steering remote sideways and control your game just like a steering wheel. Or maybe use a hoverboard and jetpack joyride to have some fun with the family, just like Back to the Future style. Let's look now at the Fire TV and see the experience. The only thing that you have to do when you get your Fire TV is to set up your Wi-Fi and parental control, and you will be set to start using it. The Fire TV is very similar to the last year's model, where you get to see your recent app and your most highlighted apps. Also, you get Prime videos and movies that have a good selection. If you're a Prime user, probably gonna get a lot of TV shows and movies for free. You get your wish list, so on and so forth. The voice control on the Fire TV is a little bit better than the Apple's because it's been out for a year, and I know that Apple is gonna catch up. Let's try some games and see how they're gonna work. Just like the Apple TV, Amazon have a big library of games. You can play with your controller or with your remote. At the time of making this video, Amazon have a bigger library of games and apps, and that's very understandable because it's been out for more than a year. For the music library, you get 1 million plus songs if you are Prime user, which I really like. Free of charge with a really nice layout. Speaking of layouts, the only downsides to this interface is that you can't customize it to your liking. You have to load a third-party software to organize all of your apps and have it customized to your liking. The plus side is that you can add any apps you want, like Kodi, VLC, any other apps that are not available in the Fire TV, and have your experience that you want. Even a browser that you can browse and download apps from the internet, which you can't really do on the Apple TV at the moment, but I'm sure jailbreaking will free Apple TV and make it a lot more easier to use in the future. So which one should you pick? If you are invested on Apple's ecosystem and you want something simple, get the Apple TV. If you are invested on Amazon's ecosystem and you want something simple and customizable, get the Fire TV. Because I like both devices and I invested in both ecosystems, I'm gonna choose both devices, but make sure to choose what fits your needs.